places like Japan, people just won't buy it. The government's not banned it. Russia and others are banning it. If it's imported from there, it just shows how America is a dumping ground for anything. Bad Chinese drugs, melamine in the milk. They executed the people that did that in China. Our FDA came out a few years ago and said, oh, melamine's okay for kids. It's wild. And again, I'm not just here being negative. When we talk about these type of things and Americans start caring again and you stop buying from places that feed you absolute garbage, they will clean their act up and stop doing it. When you demand quality across the board, it raises the culture. Somehow we got sold the idea that when you pick up your own food and throw it away, that lowers the price. No, they just get rid of help, so the McDonald's are all filthy, and then all the other restaurants do it, and suddenly we just adopt dirty bathrooms and food all over the floor, and GMO. When government gets in control of healthcare and says, Bill Gates says, when we kill one old lady with a death panel, we can hire 10 teachers. And the teachers all clap. No, when you lower quality and get rid of old people, as if you teachers aren't going to get screwed over. It's the idea that somebody gets cheated. We lower our quality of life. We lower our standards. We have austerity, and then it makes everything better. No, it doesn't. The globalists just want you to accept that so they can socially engineer you, because poor people that aren't upwardly mobile aren't uppity and can be pushed around. And the elite, meanwhile, the inflation with elite items is just off the chart because they're up there literally running a rigged global casino, the Gulag Archipelago, or what does Max Kaiser call it, the casino Gulag model. He drove up here from South Texas, Dr. Group, one of the top product developers in the country, and a good friend of mine. Global Healing Center is his organization. And quite frankly, I tried to get the formula from him the last 2 years to let us put this out, and he never did because he'd already developed it. He's developed the X2 with us. We're going to skip this network break. He has developed so many other amazing products, Super Male Vitality, Super Female Vitality. He helped us develop OcuPower. And again, these are high-quality products, but we fund our operation with quality. So it's a win for us. It's a win for you to get a high-quality product, a win for us, a win for you, that you then promote a platform of aggressive liberty. This is what it's all about. So Dr. Group has helped us on so many fronts at InfoWarsLife.com. And now on InfoWarsLife.com, we are selling Oxy powder. And what happened is, anybody can see I've lost even more weight, and I'm just glowing compared to what I looked like a couple years ago with the products he helped us develop. And it just gets better and better. Well, they finally convinced me to a couple nights a week do a detox and start taking Oxy powder. That he's the world leader in this. There's a few knockoffs out there, but he's the progenitor of it. It's his main global line. Oxygen-based intestinal cleanser. And it is literally oxygen tablets. He's going to break down how it works, that go into the intestines. You take these at night. It goes through the stomach into the intestines. And boy, let me tell you, you want something that cleans you out. You want to, me personally, I just started this 2 weeks ago. I lost 10 pounds. My belly went down because it wasn't fat, folks. It was my gut. I'm not going to get into details here, but life-changing. And I'm going to go from taking it 2 or 3 nights a week to 7 nights a week. You got to build up to it to flush my guts out. Think if John Wayne would have only had this. Oxy powder, oxygen-based intestinal cleanser dietary supplement. He's not here. He didn't even come up here to plug this today. But I said, no, we're going to talk about it. Plus, it funds Infowars.com. It funds our whole operation. What we're doing here, this is the out-of-the-park product. Infowarslife.com. 120 vegetarian-based capsules. I'm done ranting about that, Dr. Group. I want to get into Ebola. I want to get into how toxins enter the body, how to truly detox. This is part of it. But let's just plug out of the gates here. And, you know, infomercial now. How did you develop it? Why does it work so well? Because I'd taken Kaido sand. I'd done other herbal cleanses. They did something. This is dramatic.
Well, first of all, when I was doing my research years ago and looking for the root cause of disease, what I found was I was looking at the medical profession saying, what are they not teaching their doctors? What is, You know, what is the big secret that Big Pharma never wants you to find?
My personal trainer says, what's going on, dude? Your stomach has gone down by half in 2 weeks. Sorry, go ahead.
People will lose 10 to 15 pounds, and a lot of that's compaction because you have 35 feet of intestinal tract, you know, about 10 feet of large intestine and 25 feet of small intestine. And when you put toxic residue year after year after year after year, it can build up, especially in your small intestine. So, you know, Hollywood, this product was developed in 1998, and even people from Hollywood have used it to drop dress size, you know, 1 or 2 sizes of their dress, the women, before the Emmys and all the other things. But the good thing about it is, yeah, it's not fat loss, it's that compacted, built up matter that you've had that turns hard as a rock for years and years and years and years in your system. And
just like you get plaque in your arteries, you get it in your intestines.
The reason why I developed this product, I mean, who came up with the formula initially was Nikola Tesla and Eugene Bloss in a hotel room in 1898. They came up with a way to stabilize monatomic oxygen onto a magnesium compound. Now, the reason why it works so good, and what I discovered when I started doing the research and tracing back a link to every single disease and symptoms that a body can have, was that health starts in the intestinal tract or colon, and disease also starts in the intestinal tract and colon. You know, when I found out and linked, you know, all the toxins that you're taking in from food, everything that you're getting from the beverages that you drink, the acidity that comes into the bowel, I mean, every single thing starts in the intestinal lining in the bowel. From the time that you look at food.
But explain how this works, because at first I was kind of scared. I'm like, oxygen tablets is going to puff up my gut. And you're like, no, it's designed to go through and time release with what you developed and patented. Explain that to people. It's amazing.
Right. Okay, so what happens is...
I thought it would hurt or something. It doesn't.
Well, most people aren't having, you know, 2 to 3 bowel movements a day, number one. So they need help. I mean, the fact is, it's normal nowadays for people to have 2 or 3 bowel movements a week instead of 2 or 3 bowel movements a day like the animals. But how it works is, if we want to get everything out of the intestinal lining on a regular basis, I was looking at what is the best and safest way to do it. Started looking at, you know, the psyllium husk, the Metamucil, the over-the-counter laxatives, but all those cause damage to the bowel. There's only one natural and safe way that you can actually oxidize. You know, those things just scrape the wall.
Oxygen kills everything bad in the body.
Or some of those intestinal cleansers like laxatives will suck the water into the bowel, and then you can go into dehydration, electrolyte imbalance, stuff like that. But oxygen, a reactive oxygen species, is actually going to have an electron to give. So most of the toxins and the compaction that are in your bowel is positively charged. So this works in an oxidation reduction form. So it actually turns the solid matter into a liquid or a gas.
Well, think about how oxygen out in the open eats steel. I mean, it's really powerful.
Right. So we're already oxygen deficient anyway. I mean, we've gone from 28, 32% oxygen in the air down to like 6 and 9% sometimes in cities. So we actually need more oxygen in the body. And once the oxygen goes in, once it goes in and it mixes with the hydrochloric acid in your stomach, millions of little oxygen bubbles are released. It's kind of like that commercial, that Scrubbing Bubbles commercial, where it just scrubs all the way down your intestinal lining and actually oxidizes and melts away all that stuff. See, there's nothing else out there that's going to actually melt it away. The bulk fiber products that people take are just going to bulk up in the intestines and maybe scrape a little bit off the sides, but nothing's going to actually chew all the way through and melt everything down.
And I've already in 2 weeks, after Anthony was like, look, just take it. You know, you'll want to carry it. And I was like, really? Because, I mean, you know, I've never messed with my guts. And I've taken, you know, some of the fiber stuff. I don't have a lot of issues, so I didn't think I really needed it. Well, I guess I did have issues, because it's just incredible how much weight I've lost. And like I said, it wasn't even really the fat. That's been slowly going away with exercise and, you know, supplementation and eating better. But this literally, just suddenly my belly got smaller. It literally is amazing.
It doesn't matter if you're stressed out. I mean, every single disorder is associated with the gut. And that's what I was telling you when I was doing my research. I found out that the medical profession doesn't want to teach their doctors too much about the guts. I talked to gastroenterologists that didn't even really know what was going on with the gut and how to regulate the gut, because they know that if everybody finds out how simple it is to heal your body, prevent disease by just keeping the gut cleansed on a regular basis, then everybody would be doing it. I mean, it's like animals. You don't see constipated animals out in nature and squirrels not going to the bathroom and birds flying over and not going to the bathroom. But you have a constipated nation, and they want it that way. It's one of those systems that's been put into place for eugenics.
Bill and Melinda Gates are obsessed and have spent billions patenting everything to do with gut disorders.
That's right.
And we know that from medical doctors that the vaccines are connected in autism to gut disorders that then obviously affects the brain, because we know the gut is connected.
70% of your immune system, 70 to 75% of your immune system is located in your gut. They know if you take out the gut, you take out the body. That's why it's so important to make sure that your gut is healthy. You avoid the things that damage the gut.
That's why they say go with your gut.
That's right, because everybody, you know, you might be suffering. Well, think about it this way. 95% of the pharmaceutical drugs cause constipation, because they know they don't want you to eliminate your food very fast. They want it to sit inside your system, because the carbohydrates will ferment, the proteins will turn putrefactic, and the fats will turn rancid. And then you'll have a chemical slough inside your intestines. Not only that, but why are they introducing genetically modified foods with the BT toxin? It burns holes through your gut. You know, all these...
They admit it kills your regular flora.
Why do they put starches and proteins together? You know, like bread and meats together. They know that that causes irregularities. Why do they... You know, once you put chemicals in there like MSG to make food taste better, artificial sweeteners, sugar, white flour, I mean, all of it is designed to wreak havoc on your gut. If you take out the gut, you take out the immune system. If you constipate people, then you're going to have more sickness, more disease, and everything else. So my whole philosophy is you need to be cleansing and flushing your gut out at least 2 or 3 times a week, and repairing that gut lining so your body can naturally reactivate its own self-healing mechanism.
Well, if folks go to InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com, you can find the Oxy Power by Global Healing Center that Dr. Group developed decades ago. This is his main flagship product he's developed worldwide, and we have it at InfoWarsLife.com. When you purchase it there, you support the entire transmission. Again, that's InfoWarsLife.com. And we have it a little bit discounted out of the gates today for everybody. While you're there, try the Survival Shield X2 from the Crystal Iodine Deep Earth source that nobody else has. Try the Super Male Vitality, the Super Female Vitality. Quite frankly, if you go back 18 years ago when I was getting death threatened and doing all this, I thought they'd kill me. I thought I'd get put in prison. I was working 16 hours a day on average. I went from being in great shape to not working out for 15 years. Went from 185 pounds to 270-plus pounds. I've gone down to 220 pounds. It's taken me 5 years of trying to change my lifestyle, trying to exercise. I did the lifestyle change, the exercise. It only made me lose 20 pounds. Then getting into supplements, getting into the products, InfoWars Health, InfoWars Life, getting into the iodine, getting into the Super Male Vitality that helped get my glands in order. That's where the last few years, the bigger changes come, even though I'm older. And now that I've done the oxygen, it was like, my gosh, I mean, you guys would tell me every week, you'd call, hey, you got to try that. Anthony would call me the last few times 2 weeks ago and go, look, man, I'm telling you, I take this stuff a couple times a week. You got to take it. I know you're losing weight. This will supercharge it. You got to flush your guts out. And quite frankly, I was like, I don't have a problem with my gut. And, you know, oxygen tablets in my stomach. And he's like, well, it will be dramatic, but, you know, it's safe. So I finally did it. And it is amazing. InfoWarsLife.com. This is definitely something when you get it, the Oxy powder at InfoWars Life, definitely, I mean, there's going to be rave reviews because I know what happened to me. And I'm only building up to 2 or 3 pills, you know, a couple nights a week. I know finally you get to, what, 5 pills a night?
Everybody's different. Just depends on, you know, your gut and who you are and what you're eating. You know, that's why we say take 2 every night until you have 3 to 5 bowel movements the following day. Once you have 3 to 5 bowel movements the following day, that's your recommended dose.
And by the way, people can make jokes about this on the internet later. We're being serious here, folks.
This is serious stuff.
This is why you got so many kids that have autism, because the toxins being formed in the gut, because of the BT factor, the shots, all of it. This is serious.
Listen, if you want to address, people think that they don't have problems with their gut. 10 out of 10 people, 100 out of 100, 1,000 out of 1,000 people have problems with their gut. It's linked to depression, anxiety, fatigue, weight gain.
Yeah, people have nothing to lose. Bottom line,
it all starts from the gut.
You're funding the operation. This is what the group is most proud of. Now I know why. It's over the top. InfoWarsLife.com, 888-253-3139. We're going to shift gears to Ebola and a lot more coming up. Stay with us.
We're on the march.